Welcome, my good friends, family, Facebook folk, community followers, and all inspired to take your game to the next level in the next phase. That's why we call it Blaze to the next phase. I'm Rashid Hill, and I'm your host. I'm your presenter for the day. This is the 5-day clinic, 5-day ignition upgrade event. We have 5 days. We're going to pack into 2 to 3 days. We did one yesterday, give you a recap of technology as your friend. That was day one. We talked about technology and how you can use your smartphone to be smart. How can you use your smartphone to give you the ability to have a virtual assistant, a digital assistant at your command? This is the way to take your business, to take your life to the next level. You don't miss out on things. You don't say, man, I don't know how I'm going to get organized. I don't know how I'm going to remember to give me that positive self-talk. Remember the timings for our affirmations. How do I continually create that high frequency to keep that positive attitude, to keep that positive feeling? How do I get myself focused? Because you can actually utilize technology as your friend. More specifically, technology is your virtual assistant to help you create the momentum to blaze in the next phase of your life, of your career, of your education, of who you are, who you want to be. 2019 is your time. Make it happen. Do major things to get yourself ready for the new year. Now, before we kick this off, I want to go back here and talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing for you here. You know this is a 5-day challenge. I'm Rashid Hill, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that because yesterday I gave you a lot more detail because it was day one. Kicked it off, really dug in deep, talked a lot about my background, things like that. But today we're going to talk about your why, and it's not about WHY, it's about why. Okay, so this is something that I came up with while creating coaching programs that are specific to how I like to help people. So in this 5-day challenge, 5-day clinic, the ignition event that I'm giving to you in December 2018, I want to give you a little bit of insight of how to open your mind in order to get the benefits of this opportunity to create that momentum in 2019. For starters, I will highlight a few things that will give you an idea of my education and my experience on coaching, mentoring, and transforming and consulting with the chief aim to make you healthier, wealthier, and most certainly more confident, focused, and self-aware. My focus is emotional intelligence. So obviously that's something that I'm going to utilize throughout my time with you. So today, let me ask you this question. Do you believe that you taking the time, open mind, right here with me, right here, right now, today, do you believe that I can show you how to create more momentum, how to create a better state, how to believe in yourself? Do you believe I could help you create that momentum and belief and confidence going into the new year to make a difference in your life? If you believe that, then I welcome you to our 5-day clinic. I welcome you to this ignition event that's going to be profound in your life. See, I'm a graduate of the Robbins-Madanes Research Institute, a Tony Robbins coaching program that has different elements from Tony Robbins, Chloe Madanes, Mark Pasha. These are people coming out of the Harvard Behavior Studies School. My certification is in strategic intervention, relationship coaching, and career coaching, but my focus is more so on emotional intelligence and how to help people understand the magnitude of EQ versus IQ. And then I created the extension of that is GQ. And this is talked about in my hero model. You can find that on my website, and that information will be provided later. As a strategic intervention coach, simply put, I've learned how to intervene and disrupt patterns that are not serving your interest to create the best version of you and allow you to be successful in whatever objective you have, even if it's something that you want to move out of. If you're feeling down, and that's why I love doing this during the winter months, because a lot of times during holidays, people get a little depressed, people get down because of their loved ones are not around anymore. Well, sometimes people are stationed overseas in the military and things like this, and they can't come home. I mean, just recently, the president ordered the troops to go down to the border to block some kids from coming across the border that just came, I think, about 6,000 miles to get into the U.S., and they just needed some asylum. They just needed some help. And so, I'm talking the day before Thanksgiving, they were ordered to go and stand at the gate at the gates of the U.S. in the South to block people from coming in. So how do you think they felt, right? But how do you think their parents and their loved ones that were left behind while they were preparing for their holiday meal, preparing for that lovely time together during the year that they probably prepared all year for, got family and friends coming in, and then a good portion of your families and their extended families are having to go to the border? How crazy is that, right? So the emotions that run through your body are tough. And that's why I love strategic intervention as a coaching model, because it does help you to intervene and disrupt those patterns that are not serving your best interest. And we do that in a quick way. I don't want to get it because that's not what the topic is about today, but there are tools that we use in order to shut that down and get you to focus on what does serve you. But it does, you don't forget about it, but you just rechannel that energy, and so that it works for you instead of against you. So I have about 15 years in marketing, leadership, team building. I've done, I was in the military for some years, worked with the Department of Defense for over 28 years. So definitely have experienced so many different types of trainings and leadership and Six Sigma and quality initiatives. And so I've taken a lot of that. And then later on, I decided to get into some direct sales and online marketing. And a lot of that I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but I wanted to give you some insight to who I am and why I am very comfortable in providing this particular ignition event for you to take you to the next level. This is 2018. You don't want to stay here. You want to go here. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that you get the right information, get the right motivation, and so I can inspire you to be a wake-up warrior. All right. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit about your why. We're going to talk about emotional intelligence. We're going to give you some ways to create momentum in 2019. So yeah, I've had some experiences with some superior coaches. I've learned from some of the best in the business: Brandon Bouchard, Les Brown, even Pagan, Robin Sharma, Leader Without a Title. That was something that really kicked it off for me back, in the early 2000s. So these are some of the credentials, things that I've done. Hey, I'm a club member for Toastmasters. If you know what that is, then you know it is a great platform for speakers. I do speaking, I do presenting, I do trainings, and here locally, creating online programs as well, teamed up with people around the globe. We're doing online programs. Got an event coming up in 2 weeks right here in San Diego, which is really cool. So while working with the local people here, one of the things I did initially was work with Remy Mraz, CEO of Me Time Network. It's a video on demand wellness platform. That was really great because it fit with exactly what I do as an emotional intelligence and relationship coach. Really, really was cool. But one of my passions is to help veterans create momentum if they want to start a business. A lot of times, as a military person, you have a lot of experience with operations, you have experience with project management, you have experience with creativity, you have experience thinking on your feet, and you have experience with presenting in a forum to senior management. So you have some of the qualities already built in, already preloaded for you to be successful as a business owner. But a lot of times, a lot of them don't think about that. A lot of people retire or get out the military and they just want to go find another job or just do something to kind of keep going. Well, I believe that entrepreneurship is the key to reinventing the goodness in this world, making it great for the next generation. We entrepreneurs are really the key to sustainability throughout the globe. And this is very powerful and very passionate space for me. So I work with veterans doing mentorship, helping them if they want to know how to develop a better resume so they can apply and get a better job, or if they're interested in creating their own business, and we can help them with that as well. So that's something that's really cool. I love doing that. So at the moment, this is kind of my transition from, that's who I am. And I really appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to join me this morning, because I'm about ready to get into day 2, topic 2 of our ignition event that's going to blaze to the next phase. What's our next phase? 2019. We're going to create momentum. We're going to take your business, your truth, your value, your content, your concepts, your ideals, your vision. We're going to take it to the next level. Now, let's do this. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to teach you how to avoid the 5 mistakes that many people make when they really want to achieve something, when they really want to get into setting their goals and achieving their goals. There's always things that happen. I talked about this yesterday. There's things that come into play that get in your way. So today I'm going to elaborate on the 3 moves, 3 power moves I talked about yesterday, but I didn't really break it down for you. So I want to give you a little more insight to the 3 power moves to ensure that you get the results that you want. So that's what we're really going to focus on today, is how do we get past that initial, fight that you got to put up with from haters and disruptors and people that get in your way and things. And when life happens, how do you avoid getting stuck? So here's the key to getting unstuck. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Decisions have to be made. And this is no different from any other challenge that you have. You have to make a decision, and then you form a habit, and then you would realize your level of success. This is how we blaze into the next phase. So right now, I want to give you an opportunity to join me in blazing to the next phase. Who am I? I'm Rashid Hill. I am the founder of L3 Coaching Solutions, and I'm the author of an incredible online and offline inspirational personal and professional development guide called 8 Ways to Be 10 Times Better. You know that because I speak about it all the time. And yes, I'm creating a workshop here locally for that. And that workshop will be on the website, ultimateweekendplan.com. And so you can look forward to seeing that. It's all about creating wealth in a passive manner because of some of the new technologies that are out. Also, you'll see some of that on the slides for day 3. So we'll create some interesting dialogue on what is that new business model that is able to give me the passive income opportunities without having to do the old things. So since 1994, I've been convinced of the role of entrepreneurs in helping the economy grow globally. I failed a lot in network marketing. I failed a lot in business ownership. I had a moving company in the past. I've done contracting. I've done, like I said, direct sales. I've traveled the globe, built organizations, and lost a lot of money and basically earned a lot of money. I've had a property development, investments internationally, and it took about 6 years just to see a return on that. So definitely have some business experience in that way. Somewhere in 2009, I decided that online marketing was the way to go. Was very good with Google AdWords, built a network of thousands and thousands of leads that I marketed to continuously for about 3 years. Came back to the US in 2011, early 2012, decided that I wanted to get my coaching certification. I felt that that was my calling, and I did that with one of my mentors that I grew up with, Tony Robbins. So I really was excited about the strategic intervention certification. It encompasses so much, but it really, really is genuinely about you. There's no whole lot of abstract things. It's something that makes sense. And to me, strategic intervention was so amazing because it helped me in my life. And then I decided to hire a coach, Tony Robbins coach, and help others as well. And that's how I wrote my book with the Tony Robbins coach. He helped me, gave me some outline and some barriers to how to develop my coaching practice, as well as how to develop as a person and to be ready for the failures and success that was on its way. So being positive, creating that positive vibration, helping people, growth and opportunity, these things are key to me developing and being the best version of myself. So go ahead and pay attention because we're about to kick this off. As I said yesterday, do you think I can show you how to master your state? You know, Tony Robbins talks about your state. He talks about that a lot in his coaching. Therefore, to me, it makes sense that I would talk about that as well, because your state is really the key to how you attract what you need and how the universe is going to react to that which you are asking for. If you're asking for something to help you to create some type of momentum, some type of success, and to attain a level of goal achievement in your life, then you have to master your state. You have to know how you feel, why you feel, and how to manage that in order to get to the next level. If you can't, you won't get to the next level. You can think about this on a job, how you get promoted. You can figure out how you do this in business and how you make more sales. In your life, why is your relationship going good? Why is it going bad? What happens when it's good? What is your feeling? What is your mood? What is your emotion? You have to tap into that and you have to hold on to that. And so when you incorporate emotional intelligence and NLP and relationships management and human needs psychology, all this plays a role into gaining the right momentum to manage your state and blast off so we can blaze to the next phase and get you momentum in 2019. Nothing happens without a mind shift. You have to understand who you are, and then you have to develop who you want to be. But you have to do that simultaneously. So Bob Proctor talks about paradigm shifts. We're going to talk about mind shifts. And I also talk about leaderships. Just depends on who the audience is. Today, we're going to talk about mind shifts. I don't know if you know Jay Abraham, but Jay Abraham, he was somebody that my brother, when he was doing sales, he really, really, really respected this guy. And I remember him talking about Jay Abraham all the time. So I thought, why not pull a Jay Abraham quote, which fit perfectly with what I'm doing, because he was a no-nonsense guy when it came to sales. So Jay Abraham, his quote, he says, as soon as you open your mind to doing things differently, the doors of opportunity practically fly off the hinges. When I read that, blew my mind. So if you want to set yourself up for success, then picture that, right? You open your mind to listening. I go to seminars all the time. I hear the same things over and over and over. So you're like, why do I go to these seminars when I know that's what they're going to talk about? Personal development is personal development. You're going to always hear about goals. You're going to always hear about mindset. You're going to always hear about, where are you now and where do you want to be? This is standard. But every time I hear it a little differently here and there. What about emotional intelligence? Yeah, I am focused on emotional intelligence, but I focus on so many depths of that particular specific area of coaching, because you have your basic tenets of emotional intelligence. You're going to have self-awareness. You're going to have self-management. You're going to have relationship management. You're going to have social intelligence. All this is your basic things. It's just like the Johari window. You're going to have what you know that you don't know. What you know, you know. You know, how do you know, conscious competence? How do you know unconscious competence? I mean, these are learning models that are standard things that you're going to hear. But every time you have to keep an open mind, because somebody that's talking about that topic may say it in a different way and reach you in a different way. Social media. We know social media. We know there's going to be a Facebook conversation. We know there's going to be an Instagram conversation. You know you're going to talk about Pinterest. You know you're going to talk about, YouTube, Twitter. But one is at the top today, the other one is at the bottom bar. What about LinkedIn? What about Facebook Live? What about YouTube? If I asked people which one they believe was the most popular as far as business, somebody may say Facebook. They'll be wrong, but they would say that. What if I asked about which one actually has the most searches, organic searches? Somebody might say Google. They would be wrong. So now, it just depends on the day and depends on the time. But there are things that I learned that I thought I knew, but I didn't. Because if I hadn't had an open mind, I never would have heard these things. But attending events, I keep open mind in order to learn new things. So this is essential today. If you want a mind shift and get the momentum so you can blaze into the next phase, so you can blast off and get that momentum to raise your game in 2019, today is your day to open your mind, take notes, and get ready. Day 2, understanding the why. My why, not the traditional why. The why that I believe is more important than the why that's been talked about. Not purpose, not reason, but the why rule. So the secret to executing principles throughout the process. So we're going to talk about principles of the process. We're going to continue that conversation. I'm going to break it down a little more detail. Yesterday I mentioned it. Today I'm going to give you those 3 power moves that I talked about. We're going to establish principles versus goals. Yes, we're going to talk about principles versus goals. Feelings will only take you so far. So principles versus goals. Goals, we talk about goals, talk about emotions, how to add that ecological effect. And that's cool. It's true. You need that. And we're going to talk about believing in your why. The why rule. Current plus why equals the future. And then we just reverse engineer that and we come up with something so powerful that blows your mind. Simple, but powerful. Like I said, goals are not enough when preparing to transform your life. Activate your life. Understanding the why rule. I really, really love this. I really want you to get this because this is probably the most important development that I come up with after reading and studying and getting certified. I mean, I hear all these different ways and takes on, coaching and principles and goals and, how to uncover and unlock potential within, talking about high performance models. All of those things are great. Mindset is key. And so when I focus on in social intelligence, when I focus on self-awareness and self-management, and, these tools and motivation and inspiration, these are key to creating a level of vibration that is dominating the negative thoughts, the negative vibes, the negative experiences that are in your environment. So it is important to me to have come up with a way to really get people to focus on what is it that can solve your situation, get you unstuck in the shortest amount of time, and sustain your level of success that you desire. Here is the profound why rule that I've come up with. This is the secret to executing principles throughout the process. Everything is a process. You cannot have success without a process. Now, I think You believe it? I think I'm sure I believe it. I understand that there is a process, right? And one of the speakers I was listening to, and I can't think of who it is right now, but I know I heard this somewhere, is you have to fall in love with the process, because there is no snap your finger, everything changes. I mean, think about this for a second. You know, I was watching the Avengers, you know, the Infinity War, and Thanos was getting those stones, right? So Thanos is out there getting those stones. While Thanos is getting those stones, I think there was, what, 6 Infinity Stones, but he only got 5, and then he got the last one later. So while he's getting these stones, the stones are basically taking him up a level. Everyone he gets stronger and stronger and stronger, more powerful, until he becomes what? Invincible. So he gets to that level of invincibility where he can snap his finger and everything changes. Now, that is in the movies. He can snap his finger, everything changes. So we, as mortal beings, have to snap into action and follow a process. We can't just snap our finger and success is at our doorstep. You know, like they say, the only place that success is before work is in the dictionary. So this is so important to understand, that there are principles of the process that create the process or the plan in order for you to hit the objectives, in order to hit the goal, to get the outcomes that you want. It is a process. And what I've created is a formula under the Y rule. You identify your current status, X, plus Y, which is Y, meaning, yes, I'm going to do it. And then that equals the end state, or the dream, or the objective, or the outcome that you are desiring. X plus Y equals Z. Yes, it is true. I learned something in algebra. And that is amazing, because I kept saying, how do you add numbers and letters together? Doesn't make sense. But guess what? Today, I'm going to explain that to you. So look at that. Hey, Miss Johnson from 3rd grade, I got it. Took me 50 years, but I got it. So let's look at the principles of the process. So what I want you to know, there are certain things that you are not going to compromise on. I get it. That which is at your core, things that are close to your heart, things that you believe in passionately, of unshakable steadfastness, these you won't compromise on. And this is key. You have to stay with that. Keep that. The foundation that runs vertically through your being and supports all behavior and actions that ultimately defines your purpose. I call these pillars, because pillars are what you know they are. Pillars are the foundation, right? They don't move. So that's your core, pillars. So remember that term. These are pillars. Your purpose, your pillars. When you establish your objectives or your goals, you must address the SMART aspect. Specific, measurable, achievable, what's the R? Realistic, and time-bound, right? So SMART objectives. There is an ecological factor, right? It has to mean something. It has to have some emotion, some attachment to something real. So the ecological factor that gives you the depth of sensory attention, it must create a burning desire within you, a burning desire. Without that desire, you will not move. You will not wake up. You will not jump out of bed and go for your goal. Why? Because you don't have that burning desire inside you. So it's not big enough. Just like I posted on Facebook yesterday. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. They got to be a burning desire. They got to be big enough to attract you every morning and every evening to do something to go get your goal. Along with your reason, you will need to activate a deeper level of why. As mentioned, there are laws and rules that millionaires live by. And this is kind of where I got this concept of creating the why rule. Is when I'm reading interviews about millionaires in network marketing, in direct sales, in Fortune 500, in stocks, in Forex, in cryptocurrency, there are millionaires all over the board. Real estate, sales, so on and so forth. traditional and non-traditional, there is a common thread. They come up with a formula for their success. So my formula to you is the why rule. Here's the equation. First thing you do is identify your current state. That's your X. Then you add your why rule, your self-efficacy, your yes, I will, yes, I can, yes, I know, yes, I am, yes, I believe, yes, I will make this happen. So the why factor is your motivation that you're going to do it. And that motivation plus your current state equals how you get to your end state. Because within that, you have created where you want to go. You have created your burning desire. You've created that ecological factor. That's what that why is. Yes, I have created. Yes, I will do it. Yes, I believe I can. You have created your goal. And on top of that, you have created the essence of why you will not fail. So X plus Y equals Z, your end state. We have to think about what moves us physically, socially, psychologically, passionately. What are you good at? Think about it. What do you enjoy doing? What do you want to be good at? What excites you and gets your blood pumping? These are things you have to think about. What are the things that make you say, yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, I know. Yes, I believe. What are the things that motivate you? Do your kids motivate you? Then think about that. When I was first involved, let me do something right quick. We're going to go off of share because I want to talk to you a little bit. Okay, so here's something that's very interesting to me. When I actually was in Toastmasters, I first got to Toastmasters, and a funny thing happened. I did my initial icebreaker speech. When I did my initial icebreaker speech, I fumbled through who am I, the history, my background. You know, it was dry because you have 5 to 7 minutes, but you have 30, 40 years of experiences that you want to talk about. And so it was funny because I was very frustrated. I was conflicted because I said, well, what do I talk about? Now, here's the craziest thing. You know, as an established certified coach, you know, I've created websites, I've created resumes, I've created, you know, blogs. I have my information is everywhere. And I've had to say, hey, in a condensed version of this is who I am. Even on my book, there's a bio. So how is it that when I am here trying to put together my introductory speech at Toastmasters, I'm stuck. I'm baffled. So they give you 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm writing 2 pages thinking that, yeah, that's cool. By the time I get started, I'm slowing down. I'm trying to give emphasis. I'm trying to make sure I say everything. And I go for like 10 minutes. It's crazy, right? So, I mean, what is it that you need to get you focused? What is it that when you're creating, what is the juice that gives you that right creativity, put you in the right frame of mind? What keeps you in a level of kid state? Kids. So what I did, I actually thought about what makes me happy. And I could think of my son because he was always animated. You know, he was 6 or 7 at the time. Now he's 8. And he was always in that moment of play, no matter what. You know, when you're fussing at him, you want to be mad, you can't stay mad because he's still in that role of I'm Thor, you know, I'm Iron Man. All this, you know, now he's a Power Ranger. I mean, it's crazy. He's Max Steel or something like that. But it's cool because what it did for me, I started to think about it and said, what makes me happy? Because when I get up there, I want to be authentic. So my next speech, I want to make sure that I'm authentic, that I'm having a good time, but I'm giving them good information that keeps them entertained, as well as delivering on the topic, right? Because they want you to stay within the structure. And so I decided to think about my son. So the topic of my next speech was fun with my son. And I could think about times where I would try to go wake him up in the morning and he wouldn't get up. And so anyway, I'd start cooking breakfast and You come at the table, and all of a sudden you hear something hopping. And so he'll come in as a frog because he was thinking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so he would be running, and then he had like a little shield, you know, like they had the shell on their back. So he would come in like that. But then by the time he hit the chair, then he would start talking about Batman. And the next thing you know, he's talking about Superman and Iron Man. And so I would incorporate all these different things into the speech. And when I would say them, I would get animated. And it would be so exciting. And so these are the type of things that you have to remember. What motivates you? Because when you're doing or preparing for your speech in life, when you're pitching yourself, when you're promoting your brand, you Inc., when you promote yourself, what is it that you want people to take from that experience? Maya Angelou said, it ain't about what you say to people, it's how you make them feel. How do you make people feel? If you're happy, they're happy, right? If somebody's not doing well that day and you say, hey, good morning, good afternoon, how are you doing? Because I miss you. Boom, all of a sudden they're like, this person's crazy, but wow, I like that. So at the end of the day, you have to figure out, what do you love doing? What are you good at? What motivates you? What brings that joy within you to the top? And that's what's going to keep you motivated. That's what's going to keep you going and help you to succeed in your mission. So let me finish a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about the 3 power moves that I mentioned in day 1. Because in order to exercise your why, then you need to understand these 3 power moves that are key to the principles of the process. We must establish our why. That's the first thing, right? And so don't get me wrong. I know I talked about emotions as not being the all in all, but believe something here. Don't get me wrong. Emotions and energy are vital to the extended resilience and success of your mission and meeting your goals. Yet you must be aware of what is causing you to lose battery power en route to your dreams. You have to know when are your prime energy states, prime energy times throughout the day, because you don't want to engage somebody in a sales call. You don't want to engage somebody in a conversation, deep conversation, or you don't want to talk to somebody about your goals when you're at your lowest battery state or your lowest power state. So you have to figure out what is the best time during the day that you're at your best, your peak, your power is, your energy is high. That's when you address people. You tend to halt or blink when you get your feelings hurt or affected negatively. Yet, when you establish firm principles or pillars, you're making a pact or commitment to follow through on your promise and obligations. So take it more serious that what you want to achieve in your life's mission and the energy you use to put toward it is not diminished by distractions or disbelievers. Emotions of passion, desire, and confidence are absolutely critical to you achieving your mission, achieving your goals, achieving your dreams. This is so important. Don't want you to forget that. So be specific on what you want, but yet be flexible on the how you want to get it. Let's be honest. Unless you are absolutely certain of the desired outcome, we cannot know how we will accomplish what we want when it is huge and it takes multiple agencies to complete. Sometimes we think too big, and then we get frustrated because we don't even get out at the starting blocks. So I don't want you to run into that problem. So you have to be confident, but you have to be intelligent and realistic about your goals. Make it huge, but you still have to take the right steps. Then you have to remember, sometimes it's who can implement every step along the way with you. Is it too narrow of a goal? Is it about strategy, how you're trying to get to the goal? What is it that is keeping you from going forward? So where do you begin? So as we study past patterns, myself, study past patterns to evaluate current values towards predicting what might happen in the future. This is how basically Tony Robbins coaching is evolved to the level it's at. By studying patterns, then you anticipate what's going to happen. Therefore, I can talk to you about results. So if you do X, then you will get Y. This is kind of how it works. That being said, your level of focused energy to clarify what you desire, what is your chief aim, what is your aspiration or objective or result to get to the outcome that you want? What is your dream? What is ultimately your dream? These thoughts are in your control. You are the creator of what you desire. You design and attract your life's events from inception to extinction. So spend quality time right here. What you don't want is to spend time on hyper amounts of energy on the realm of how am I going to get to this goal. Don't spend all your time on trying to figure out the plan. Just understand that you need to build a desire. Spend your quality time on what you want. And that's where you need to be in your zone of that vision, of that imagination, of that goal, of that process. So, in our next topic, we're going to talk more about vision. We're going to talk about confidence and confidence. And then we'll help you to battle with the universal forces that some people believe are well beyond where you are now. But we're going to get you to a level where you can fight those things off that are causing you problems and you can't get to the level that you need to be. So number 3 of these power moves that I talked about. Speaking of vision and being specific on the what you now think about the visual, the optics of your dream. Don't limit your what. That's where most people fail. Think about it. This is building a major, major vision. Like I said, don't make it small. You got to think big. You got to grow. You got to have a dream that's big, where it scares you, where you jump out of bed like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this today? Don't worry about it. Believe it. Believe that you are going to accomplish it and start somewhere. Here's where I start. You have to say, I'm going to start right here, and that's where you go. What's the first thing you need to do to start building on getting to your dream? What is the first thing you need to do? And that's what you focus on. I read a quote. It goes like this. If your dreams and desires to achieve don't wake you up and pull you out of bed every single morning, they're not big enough. So think about what you want out of life, business, how much money you want to earn weekly, monthly, annually, if you want real estate, if you want a house, home, investments. What is it that you really, really want? Basically, all the legal forms of wealth creation. Think about what your dreams are, then increase it until you are uncomfortable. Now, you are challenging your stored patterns of belief. This disruption within your psyche is the initial shift to your new success gene. If you watch my videos on YouTube, I talk about the success gene that's created when you hit the level of GQ. You go from IQ to EQ to GQ, and then your success gene is activated. When you embrace it, life opens up for you. The universe is in service to you. If you challenge that feeling of opportunity and revert back to familiar or comfort, you enter the destructive perception called fear. And the window closes on your brief opportunity for a new phase in life. Is that what you want? You have to make a decision so that you won't fall into the false experiences appearing real. Fear. It's just not reality. So let's get back to what we were talking about. Understanding the why rule. You have to understand the why rule. The secret to executing principles throughout the process. The principles of the process, as we talked about, those are the foundations for your journey. You have to stay at your core. You have to stay where your pillars are created. Those are your core foundation principles. You have to make sure that those are solid. Then you build from them. Establish the principles and goals. Feelings will only take you so far. But you gotta have those principles of the process. Believe in your why rule. What is the why? The why is yes. The why is yes, I can. The why is yes, I will. The why, yes, I know. Yes, I am. Yes, I believe. That's your why. And that's how you're going to activate and create that momentum to take you to the next level in this coming year. Remember this, the dream is free. We can create the dream all day long. This presentation costs you nothing but time, but the hustle is sold separately. You have to do the work. Create the principles of the process, dream big, dream bigger than big, get uncomfortable. Every single day, go after what you believe is worthy of your time, and you will have the success that you seek. So how do we create the wealth mindset? Every day we're going to talk about this because I want to remind you there are ways that you need to remember every single day. I remind myself, I remind you how to create a wealth mindset. Stay in the wealth mindset. Write down what you want. Envision your future. Affirm your desires. Listen to your inner voice. Take action and transform. Take action and transform. Take action and transform. Hold that vision. Create the vision. Hold on to that vision because it will guide you through the rest of the process. I'm Rashid Hill. I always enjoy our time. I thank you for being a part of this ignition clinic, this ignition event that's going to blaze you into the next phase. You are quality. You have what it takes. We are going to take this new opportunity, this new year to blaze to the next phase. It's your time. So let's make it happen. Always remember, what you know is not what you knew. You are not your past. You